So we are starting with an activity on how to make a dummy variable. So we started with the definition. A dummy variable is actually a numeric representation of uh, qualitative or alphabetical data. And that data is not necessarily alphabetic, it is mostly nominal or ordinal. It can be your roll numbers, it can be your ID card numbers, and I convert it into codes of area. क्योंकि आईडी कार्ड के फर्स्ट फ्यू लेटर से पता चल जाता है कौन सा सिटी है, so I can convert it into codes कि this ID is from Lahore, this ID is from Islamabad, this is from Southern Punjab, so you can convert. Now this is an activity what I will try to talk about few and then you will try to do others. So first question is, now how dummy is made. Sometimes dummy is made by theory. You find that theory saying that certain kind of people has different qualities or certain type of people have different behavior, so you try to make a dummy equal to 1 for them certain type and 0 for others. That certain type can be gender based, it can be Lahore city students or hostelites, it can be student who have studied English medium or Urdu medium, it can be scholarship or non scholarship, any behavior that you observed. यानी वो क्वालिटी कहीं से भी आ सकती है, जितना अच्छे ऑब्जर्वेशन स्किल होगी या लिटरेचर में अवेलेबल होगा, यू विल फाइंड इट इजीली. सो आई विल मेक फ्यू एग्जांपल्स. सो first example is make a dummy which is equal to 1 if a person is fully employed and 0 for others. And in the data I have given the data for 10 people and I have given their work hours and I have given the definition below. Let's see the definition, move it into the definition is that full-time employed means 8 hours of work for 5 days and 6 hours work on Friday. So 8 fives are 40 plus 6 46. So if a worker has worked 46 hours, he is a full-time worker. If he has worked half of that, that will be how much? 23. He will be counted as a part-time worker. Okay. And if it is below than 46, he is maybe temporary worker. And if he is more than 46, then he is more than part-time worker. So question is, if a person is full-time or not. So what you will do, you will look at the work hours and write 0 or 1 in the column dummy A. So first person has 46 hours, you will write 1. Second person is unemployed, 0, because no hours are given. So either there are two cases, either that data will be discarded, maybe he has not responded, or empty means 0. So it is if you are data collector, you will know कि ये जो empty cell है why it is was so, या उसने आंसर नहीं दिया था. तो अगर आंसर नहीं दिया, you will add dash, no response, so that row or that questionnaire will be discarded, वो काउंट नहीं होगा. और empty means 0, ये मतलब क्वेश्चनेयर मेकर और जो क्वेश्चनेयर डेटा कलेक्टर है उन दोनों के दरमियान में ये ऑलरेडी क्लियर होता है. बिकॉज जो क्वेश्चनेयर बनाता है वो अपने इन्यूमरेटर, जो डेटा कलेक्टर है, इन्यूमरेटर बोलते हैं उसको, ही गिव्स देम इंस्ट्रक्शंस कि इफ देयर इज नो आंसर व्हाट डज इट मीन, और इफ द रिस्पांस इज लाइक दिस हाउ टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन नो रिस्पांस एंड 0, तो वो उनको पता होता है. सो यहाँ एम्प्टी का मतलब आई विल अज्यूम दैट कि वो 0 था. And 46 is 1. Similarly, then this is 0. It is not full time, it is overtime. So ये 1 नहीं होगा, 0 होगा, क्योंकि उसने ये कहा है फुल टाइम ओनली को 1 करना है. ठीक है, तो ये ओवर टाइम है, ओवर एम्प्लॉयड है. 23 पार्ट टाइम है, 0 0 0 0 सारे 0 जी. So this has become a new data of 0 and 1, where 1 means some specific quality and 0 means all others. Similarly, B क्या कह रहा है, a part time worker and 0. So जहाँ 23 है वहाँ 1 आ जाएगा and remaining 0. C is saying unemployed or other, तो जहाँ empty है वहाँ 1 हो जाएगा, remaining 0. Yes. So part B is clear. In part C, unemployed 1 and 0 for others. It is clear, you will mark 1 here for 2, 1 for 8 and remaining 0. Next is, now here I have categorized 1 for underemployed and 0 for other employed. So underemployed is a person who has more hours than 23 but less than 46 is underemployed. Okay, so only person who has 35, it will be 1, others will be 0. Last is overtime workers and other workers. So 56 will be 1 and 9th will be 1, others are 0. In this example, I have not categorized the other. What is an advantage of that? कि कोई data lost नहीं हुआ. अगर मैं कहता, let's make an example कि dummy 1 is equal to full time and 0 is equal to part time. So what will happen? 46 is 1. Line 0, line 2 will be empty because we didn't talk about it. हमने तो 0 बोला है पार्ट टाइम को, तो लाइन 2 में कोई आंसर नहीं आएगा, ना 1 ना 0. तो 0 कब आएगा? 6, 7 और 6 और 7 पे, और 0 आएगा 6, 7 पे, 1 का आएगा 1 एंड 4 पे, और बाकी डेटा एम्प्टी होगा. So if you categorize both category clearly, what will happen? The other categories will become empty and that data will be wasted. If you add other on any one of side, कि 1 में other रख दे या 0 में other रख दे, तो data waste नहीं होगा, सारा club हो जाएगा. So it depends what you want to explore. Sometimes data इतना बड़ा होता है कि you can afford loss of data. ठीक है? So for example, this data is an example of labor force survey. That data is more than 3 lakh observations. So you can afford 20-30,000 observations are deleted. It doesn't matter. ठीक है? Even if you add older data, आपका 7 to 10 lakh observations हो जाएंगी, and you do something like this, और एक आधा लाख delete हो जाए, it doesn't matter, because the focus is to explore certain type. So this is an example where we studied how to make a dummy variable, and that dummy variable will become a new data and you will use it. So that line will not be used. So regression will automatically delete that row where at least one of the variable has no data. So dummy D type is underemployed and 0 is other employed. So in this example, underemployed is 35. 35 will be equal to 1 and 10th one will be 1, and other employed means all others except 2 and 8. In the 2 and 8 it will be empty. Other employed है, not employed exclude कर दिया मैं. Yes, so there will be no data there. Yes, because in that we don't talk about non-workers. So the example D and E, in this example, the others is not all others, it's narrow. So which data will be, and now I related with your term papers. So in your term paper, most of you have the panel data. What kind of dummy variable you can make in a panel data? The most common example is you convert your country into developed or underdeveloped. You explore online and see which of my countries are developed and which are underdeveloped. You create 1 equal to developed and 0 is equal to underdeveloped. There can be other types, rich, poor, or Muslim or non-Muslim, or depending on what you want to measure. आपके अपनी थ्योरी से रेलेवेंट भी हो सकता है. Maybe you can say कि if you are doing on banking, so you say कि किस मुल्क में इस्लामिक बैंकिंग है 1 and नॉन इस्लामिक कंट्रीज जहां पे इस्लामिक बैंकिंग अभी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती 0. So that depends on theory, but most common is developed, underdeveloped, or they convert it into 4 types: high developed, high medium, low medium, and low developed. So they make 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinal dummy variable. This is an example that is very commonly used in regression analysis. Up that point that I want to talk, okay, what dummy variable does. If you, let's say you make a dummy variable develop and underdeveloped in your panel data. Now you can do two things. Either you split the data into two Excel files, one Excel file for developed and one for underdeveloped, and do regression 2 times. What will happen? You will have 2 regression lines. Same theory, but 2 different perspectives. So dummy variable, here you apply dummy variable indirectly. Means you just split the data. But what you could do is, what is an advantage of dummy variable? You add a dummy variable and run regression once, but it will give you 2 outputs. So advantage of that is your data is double and it is giving you double answer. So this is more efficient as compared to splitting the data into 2 Excel files. Your work has been reduced to half, but output is double. So that's why dummy variables are very commonly used. Rather than you make Excel files for all of them and you join them together and split. Now we will do activity on it later on. यहाँ तक किसी question हो? I hope the objective is achieved, that how dummy variable is made and what does it do. Its advantage is that it adds on the qualitative information into the model. It will increase your R square, the known information, the known knowledge, and if you find out that the qualitative information is more valuable, you will further explore how to go into it and try to create a numeric data out of that qualitative data. The examples can be that if you study Hofstede, he has made a culture data. He has made a numerical value that represent a culture of a country. He has divided the culture into 6 types. And if you study online, so before that, what people did, they use dummy variables to explain culture. That their culture is more nomadic, their culture is scientific, their culture is so 0, 1 something, or they relate culture with religion. That it is Islamic culture, this is non-Islamic culture, 0, 1. But what Hofstede did, because he found out that culture is more important variable and it is performing more strongly as compared to numeric data. So what he did research and convert that quality into quantity. He learned how he applied some statistical techniques to convert that data into quantity. So this was the example. आपकी डेटा सेट, जिसने भी वो डेटा देखा जिसमें मैंने वो मार्केटिंग का वेरिएबल दिखाया, सप्लाई चेन का वेरिएबल दिखाया, अगर आप उसकी रिपोर्ट खोल के देखें तो यही बताएगा, वो कोई एक सवाल है जो उस मुल्क के लोगों से या उन मुल्क के मैनेजर से पूछा हुआ है, बताया हुआ कि किससे पूछा हुआ है, और कोई 2-3 हजार लोग हैं हर मुल्क से रैंडमली, उनको मिल रही होगी ना, उन्होंने पहले एक रिसर्च की होगी कि ये जो हम नया वेरिएबल बनाना चाह रहे हैं, इस वेरिएबल के ये फायदे हैं. उन्होंने एक रिपोर्ट खुद बनाई होगी किसी 1-2 मुल्कों की. वो 1-2 मुल्कों के लिए छोटी फंडिंग मिल जाती है, रिसर्च फंडिंग एजेंसीज होती हैं, या किसी ने थीसिस किया होगा किसी एक मुल्क पे, उसने उस डेटा की वैल्यू दिखाई, उसने कोई एक इंटरनेशनल थिंक टैंक या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से कोलैबोरेटिव किया और उनको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिल गया कि आप करो. जैसे वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम है, अब उसको 12-15 साल हो गए हैं, अब उनकी हर साल मीटिंग होती है डेवोस में, स्विट्जरलैंड में, और पूरी दुनिया के वजीर आजम उसमें जाते हैं. वो इतना बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बन गई कि उनका अपना इकोसिस्टम हो गया, उनको फंडिंग मिल रही है और ये कम करें, उनको कहीं ना कहीं से पैसे आते होंगे, और वो पैसे के आने के बहुत सारे सोर्सेज हैं. अब मैं कोई एक नहीं बता सकता कि कौन से होंगे. हाँ, तो वो भी है, ठीक है.